Hi everyone. So welcome to the Duschesne College pre-departure webinar for the trip to Fiji, heading on the 9th of July. That's on the Monday, so not too far away at all, only a couple of weeks away. So now's a really good time to start trying to start really preparing for your trip and making sure you're ready. So my name is Duncan. I've been working pretty hard with Will, our director in the office here, who you guys would have met a couple of months ago when he came to Brisbane, and also Meg, who's been doing a lot of work trying to organise this, and we've been working together with the guys in Fiji. You'll see Karishma is our country director in Fiji on the bottom right there. So we've all been working really hard together to put together a bit of a schedule that's going to be really exciting and really worthwhile for you guys to get involved with. So we're just going to run through a few of the things on the left-hand side there, just to make sure you guys are all ready to head away. Now, we're speaking with Meg. We usually do these webinars live, but I know you guys are kind of right in the middle of your exams at the moment. So Meg has mentioned that perhaps if we could pre-record it and then just post it to the Facebook group, you can all listen to it in your own time. Now that's fine, but normally when it's live, we'd have you guys listening in, and then any questions you guys have about anything we discuss or anything I may have not mentioned you're not too sure about, you guys could send in questions and we can answer it for everyone. So all that means is that any questions that you guys do have while listening to this, please get in touch with either myself or Will at the office here. No questions too big or small. We want to make sure you're super prepared for your trip over to Fiji. You can also get in touch with Meg as well. I've been communicating with Meg just about every week for the last couple of months about how it's all going to go. So she's got a very good idea of how it's all going to play out as well. So any questions, please get in touch with us here in the office or have a chat to Meg. So you'll see in the background there, that's Nadi International Airport. Now, it is spelled N-A-D-I, but it's pronounced Nadi, so make sure you're aware of that. The airport, you'll see it's quite small, but it is actually quite nice. So you don't have to be too concerned about any kind of rough conditions when you land. It should be fine. So we'll move on here. So this is Fiji. Just chuck this into Google Maps for you guys to see. So you can fly into, that's where you'll be flying into Nadi on the left there. And then the actual project work is going to be based in a village called Nuku'alofa, which is about half an hour out of the Bar district. So Bar is about an hour north of Nadi by bus. And then Nuku'alofa is probably 20 minutes, maybe half an hour south of Bartown. Now, Bartown is actually quite a large town in itself, but Bar is the kind of suburb, if you will. So that's Fiji. It's not a big place. You can get around the island quite quickly and quite easily. It's quite small, obviously. So we've got the schedule here. Now I'll just skip to the next page and you'll see that we've got a pretty detailed itinerary. I'm not going to go through it all. Instead, I'll just kind of let you know about the schedule here, kind of the overview. So you guys are going to be leaving on the Sunday night quite late, I believe. It's going to be an overnight flight, and so you'll be getting in to Nadi quite early on the Monday. I think this is the way to do it. Get any sleep that you can on the plane, and then the Monday is going to be your kind of introduction and your induction day in Nadi. So you'll be picked up from the airport and taken to our office in Nadi, where you'll be given those inductions, the kind of cultural stuff and what you'll be doing, and we've got some paperwork for you guys to sign as well. So that'll take a little while. It's not stressful at all, super casual, because you guys will probably be quite tired from the flight, so that's okay. And then we're going to transfer you to Nuku'alofa on that same day. With a lot of groups coming in, what we'd do is we'd have them overnight in Nadi and then take them in the next day. But we're pretty keen to get you guys pretty stuck in to what you'll be doing. So the project work can begin on the Tuesday. So the basic structure is in the mornings you'll be working with the children. And then in the afternoons, you'll be doing some kind of community renovation project. Now, I'll skip over to the itinerary in a second. I'll go into more details about that. As part of the schedule as well, we're going to have some leisure activities for you guys throughout some of the afternoons and evenings. It could be a traditional Fijian feast or a culture night. I think the guys have got some hiking they're going to get you to do, and swimming in the river. We've got a bit more on that coming up later, as well as the weekend time. This is still to be decided by the group. There's a festival going on at that time that I think we'd like to get you guys involved in, but more details on that later. And then the final day of the project work is going to be on the Friday. The school is going to plan some activities for the group, so that should be exciting. And we're not entirely sure what that is yet, but we can only expect that it's going to be a lot of fun. So that should be quite good. And then on the Saturday, you'll have some free time. So again, we can arrange for you to do some other sort of leisurely activities, or you can just take a day off, whatever you guys like. And then on Sunday, we'll transfer you back to Nandi, ready to fly out in the afternoon. So if we have a look at the itinerary here, now please note that your group, it's not a usual group for us. You're a bit like a hybrid between a school group and a university faculty group. A university group would be a bit more specialised to their studies. So, for example, we have a lot of nurses go away with us, and they spend their time in hospitals and clinics doing medical outreach work, that sort of thing. So what we've done is we've based your itinerary on a school trip, but with the expectations that you'll be able to achieve a lot more. So because of this, we need to preach that the schedule is very, very much so flexible. You'll see a lot of work in the afternoon has either kind of mural work or playground work written there. Basically, we have a bunch of work that you guys can do, but we want to make sure that you can finish all the projects that you start. We don't want you leaving anything unfinished. So we need to see how you guys work together first. You might smash out everything at the local school in the first week, which is when we'll arrange to take you to a different village that was also affected by the cyclone, or the plastering and mural work might take longer than expected and you might not get to the playground work. Just come with an open mind. We do need to see how well you work and what kind of projects you can get done while you're there. So with this itinerary, we say just use this as a guide. You probably don't even need to familiarize yourself with it. Just know that the basic crux of it is that you're going to be working with the kids in the morning, and you're going to be doing some kind of community renovation work that's a bit more hands-on in the afternoon. And in that as well, it's still quite flexible. Some of you might also enjoy working with the kids so much that you want to spend bit longer doing that, or the other way around, in the sense that you might want to do more of the renovation stuff. So just let us know. We can arrange that for you. Just know that we're very flexible in what we're going to do for you guys. If you've got any ideas, just let us know. So we'll move on to the accommodation and the food side of things. We would normally have a group in Nuku'alofa spread across a couple of host families, but Meg said this ideally is going to be quite a bonding experience for you all, and it would be best to stay together if you could. So we've arranged for you to all stay with the same family. They're the Kumars, which is like a little complex sort of thing. So half of you will stay in one building and the other half in the other building, but it's all within the same complex. All the meals will be together, and all the social activities. It'll just be the actual where you're sleeping that's split. So you'll be sharing rooms. Some might have 3 in them. This is why we'd normally split the group amongst the host families. But Meg said you guys would be happy to be a little bit squished together, as long as you can all kind of stay together. So that's what we've done for you. Now, it is somebody's house, obviously, so you'll have beds and you'll have and there'll be bathrooms there. It's not like you're camping in someone's backyard. It'll be comfortable by local standards, but please don't expect your luxury king spring bed from back home. It'll just be the basics. Hopefully, we'll have you guys working so hard you'll be dead tired each night anyway. I stayed in similar accommodation on my own volunteering trip to Samoa a little while ago, and I think I could have probably slept on concrete by the end of the day. So Don't be too concerned about that at all. The food, you'll be eating authentic Fijian food prepared by the Kumars. The family has Indian heritage, which if you don't know much about Fiji, that's quite common. So you guys are in for a bit of a treat when it comes to mealtime. For those of you who don't know much about projects abroad, we send volunteers to many different countries across the globe, and in a lot of destinations, the local food can be a bit intimidating. I'm sure many of you have done some traveling before and probably experienced this. But in Fiji, there's really nothing to be scared of. Nothing's going to be too different for you. You're going to be a lot of large, hearty meals of vegetables and meat, usually chicken and fish served with rice. A lot of casserole-y, stewy type stuff. It's quite carb heavy, so make sure you're working nice and hard at the school to burn it all off. Toast, eggs, and fruit for breakfast. That's pretty standard in Fiji. Cereals and milk are available in the supermarkets if you prefer, but you'll need to pick them up yourself. Most of these are imported from New Zealand and Australia, so whilst things are generally a bit cheaper in Fiji, expect to pay usual Aussie prices for that sort of stuff. So our guys can help you go to the supermarkets, go pick them up, but just note that you'll be responsible for them yourself. Krishma, our country director in Fiji, has also said, please note that foods like cheese, gluten-free products, soy milk, multigrain bread, chocolate, Nutella, peanut butter, they're not regular items in a typical refrigerator. So if you want to bring a bit of home with you, that's fine. Probably Vegemite is one that comes to mind for you guys who like a bit of Vegemite on toast. But yeah, anything like that, it's fine to bring a little bit of home with you. So there's going to be heaps of fruit all the time. Remember, this is a tropical island, and the locals do eat a lot of fruit. Bananas, papaya, pineapples are all in season at the moment. Unfortunately, you miss out on mango season, I think, so bad luck there. There'll be plenty of coconuts. They're available all year round, and they're basically a staple of islander life. You'll have heaps of coconut, and they cover everything with coconut cream as well. This isn't your canned supermarket coconut cream either. This is freshly squeezed, and it'll probably change your life. Root vegetables like taro are common. They bake them along with kind of starchy bananas, not the sweet ones, the real starchy kind of savory ones, and then they cover them with coconut cream. You can see that in the bottom right corner there. That's baked taro, and it's covered in coconut cream. So that's pretty popular over there. You'll definitely have a chance to check that out. So we'll move on to the climate now. Perfect time of year to go. Wet season is all done. Obviously, with the monsoons hitting, all the monsoon and the cyclones hitting a few months ago is part of the reason you guys are heading over. Very, very timely. So the rains have eased up a bit, but remember, Fiji is a tropical island, so it does actually shower all year round. It doesn't affect anything though. It'll just be a light sprinkle for 5 or 10 minutes. That'll go away. If you check the average highs and lows in the middle rows there on the table, you'll see it changes about 3 degrees throughout the whole year. So the temperature is pretty consistent, as is the humidity. So be prepared. It's going to feel quite hot. Drink plenty of water. Don't overdo it. You'll be fine. If you are struggling a bit with the climate, don't try and be a hero and just push through. Just let your group leader know, and they'll be there to help however they can. Just as I mentioned, there's no need to be a hero. If you are struggling with it, it's perfectly normal. It's better to take a little bit of time off, kind of relax for a little bit, than push too hard. So clothing, what do you need to bring? It's going to be different depending on where you are. So whilst in class, girls, long skirts or dresses that have sleeves on them, so keep your shoulders covered. Or a t-shirt and a skirt, or a t-shirt with pants. Guys, pants and a shirt. Please bring at least one collared shirt. If you check the picture down there, you see the kids are wearing quite formal uniforms, which is why our guys have asked the fellas in the group to bring a collared shirt. We think it'll be fine to just wear a tee, but bring a collared shirt just in case. When you're doing the renovations in the afternoon, you can change at the school into knee-length shorts or leggings for the girls and t-shirts. Don't wear anything nice. You guys are all going to get pretty dirty with some of that work you'll be doing. And then when you're not on placement, it's a relaxed dress code. You can wear pretty much whatever you want. I mean, obviously within reason. So move on to language and communication. The vast majority of people you are going to meet will speak English. It's part of the schooling curriculum, and it has been for quite a few years. See that picture in the top right there? It's from a classroom. You can see many of the educational materials on the walls there are in English. Don't expect everyone to speak English, of course, particularly some of the older people, but usually the kids will speak pretty good English because they are learning it in school, so there's nothing to be worried about there. For communication, so with your phones, there is no Wi-Fi available at the host families. Wi-Fi will be available when in Nandi at the office, or often there's resorts there that are happy for you to go just to go chill out and use their Wi-Fi. Don't be too concerned about this. As mentioned, I spent some time in similar circumstances in Samoa. Whilst I'm usually scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, I found myself wanting to use my phone less and less during my time there. Just try putting the phone down, enjoy the moment. But of course, take plenty of photos too. That's certainly acceptable. We want you guys to have heaps of memories of your time there. However, if you bring an unlocked smartphone, you can purchase a prepaid SIM card with data, with a data bundle there. The SIM ranges from about 50 Fijian dollars and higher, with various choice and data plans. There's heaps of different stuff that you can get, and our staff will help you get this if you need. So you can get access to internet if you do want. So that's up to you. Just let our staff know; they'll help you out. So now we'll move on to the leisure time here. So as mentioned, we have got a few activities planned for you guys. It's not going to be all work and no play. We're going to have a traditional night for you guys where you can have lovo, so that's food baked in an earth oven. It's pretty traditional, and there'll be cultural performances as well. We're also going to take you to a local swimming spot in a shallow river. Now this is very much a local spot. It's not touristy, so that's exciting. And I think the guys are also going to take you hiking one afternoon, I reckon. So there's some pretty scenic mountainous hikes close to where you are. So we do have a few things planned for you. Now you'll need to thank Meg very much too. She's worked very hard to keep the cost down for you guys to an absolute minimum. Part of this though was removing the normal weekend trip that we would do for you, which is normally out to a resort on one of Fiji's many small islands. This isn't to say that you won't be doing anything on your weekends. In fact, we actually have heaps of options for you guys. Just note that you'll have to budget for these. The most likely option that would get you involved with is a festival in Nandi. You can see that in the top left there. That's the festival. By sheer luck, you guys have scheduled your trip where the weekend aligns with Nandi's biggest annual festival, the Bula Festival. There's heaps of rides and all sorts of traditional cultural shows, and it's really cool. The staff recommend checking that out and staying the night in Nandi as well, where they can help you find a nice enough hotel for pretty cost-effective prices as well. So they're happy to help you out in that sense. So we do recommend checking out the festival. But are also more than happy to arrange for you guys to still go to that island resort that I mentioned. You can see it there in the middle. It's called Robinson Crusoe Island is the one we normally use. I think Karishma has said it's about 150 Aussie dollars to get the ferry out there. That's meals and accommodation. I think you budget for whatever drinks and if you want to kayak around and that sort of thing as well. Or you can choose to just relax with your host families in Nuku'alofa if you'd like. All the meals there are included, so theoretically you can stay there and not spend another cent over the whole weekend if you want. So Karishma wants to make it very clear that we're very flexible in what we do. So we can do what you guys want basically. You also don't have to make up your mind until you're there. That's completely fine. So this goes for the evening activities too. If one of the nights you guys want to go for another swim, we'll arrange it for you. A minibus taxi might cost $20. So with 10 of you, you can chip in $2 each, and you make it happen. Just let us know. It's up to you guys. So with money, 1 Fijian dollar is about 65 Australian cents. The biggest bank in Fiji is the ANZ Bank. They also have Westpac and a bunch of other smaller Pacific banks as well. that are all usable with standard debit cards, so MasterCard or Visas. Fees these days aren't so bad, especially with ANZ. You can just withdraw money there. Our staff will take you to the ATMs. There's ATMs at the airport. They're scattered throughout Nandi, and there's ATMs in Bar Town as well. So it's not going to be difficult to get money. For those of you wanting to know how much money, how much spending money to take, please note that this is hard to predict because we don't know what sort of weekend activities you'll be doing yet, and if you plan to do a bit of extra leisure stuff on top of what we've already got planned. Some of you might also be planning to go crazy at the markets or want to buy a heap of snacks, yeah, etc., etc. As a rough estimate, if you do the Bula Festival as the weekend activity and stay overnight in Nandi, which is what we recommend, I'd be very surprised if you needed more than $200. Remember though, everything you actually need in Fiji is covered. It's just the spending money. So I'd be surprised if you spent more than that $200. But as an example, that might be a good place to start. With the visa, it's free on arrival for 14 days or less. So me and Meg made sure the itinerary does not go over the 14 days. So nothing to worry about there. That's actually perfect because it does get kind of expensive for any period of time after the 14 days. Your visa option will be other, which is volunteering with projects abroad. The Fijians, they know who we are and what we do. It'll all be fine. It'll all go smoothly. You will need a valid original passport, and it needs to have 6 months left on it from your time of departure. Now, I sent out, I think Meg posted about this a while ago and made sure you guys are all covered for that, so that should hopefully be fine. You'll need your flight itinerary showing your arrival and departure from Fiji, just so they know that you will be leaving the country, within that 14-day mark. And you also need a proof of sufficient funds, so a bank statement. Now, just note, no one ever checks this, but immigration do say it is a requirement, so just make sure you've got it, but you won't get asked for it. It's just on the off chance that maybe, they think you look a little bit suspect or something like that, and they'll just want to make sure you've got all the documents. But yeah, no one that we can recall has ever actually been asked to present this, so that should be fine, but still make sure you've got it. So that's basically everything that I wanted to cover from the start. Now, what I've decided to do as well is put in some frequently asked questions here, seeing as how you guys aren't listening to this live. So hopefully some of the questions you guys might have during this presentation, I'll be able to kind of nip it in the bud now. But first thing I want to say is on the right there is a snapshot of the My Projects Abroad page with the FAQs. Can you guys please log into that if you haven't already? It's an absolute gold mine of information. There's basically everything that you need to know about your pre-departure and arrival, and everything there is actually on your My Projects Abroad page. Just go to www.myprojectsabroad.org, and then Stacey should have sent you all of your login details by now. If she hasn't, please get in touch with us here so I can give them to you. It's pretty important that you guys check all that out as well, because this is where you need to upload some of your documents as well. So your blue cards, your police checks. I know you guys have all got them, but we do need you guys to upload them there. We need your CVs as well, and a scan of your passports. A lot of you have done this already, and I understand a few of you need to wait until you head home to get them. But please make sure you do this as soon as possible. I think Stacey's going to start chasing you up for these things because it is quite close. I have mentioned to her that I know you guys, some of them have to go home back to your country towns or wherever you're from to get these, but just let us know and just be prepared to upload them as soon as possible. So yeah, please check out your My Projects Abroad page, and you can see it's got a heap of the FAQs there, but I'll run through a couple now just to make sure that you guys are all comfortable with these things. So you can see what I'm going to discuss on the left there. So first one is about dietary requirements. Can the host family cater for my specific dietary requirement? Yes, just let us know. I'm also going to post this in the group, but part of the reason that we got the guys in Fiji to waive your guys' medical histories, so we've said that you don't need them, is on the basis that you guys are going to tell us everything about your medical history that's relevant. So if that's any kind of dietary requirement, or even if you're just vegetarian or vegan or anything, you need to make sure that we are aware of that so that we can cater for it. But our host families are very, very good at catering for these sort of things, and we can absolutely organise for it. Again, just make sure that we know. What type of electricity plug do I need? It's the same as an Aussie one. Don't be concerned about that. Should I bring a backpack or a suitcase? We recommend bringing at least a smaller backpack just for your daily use, and then a larger backpack or a suitcase to leave with the host family. That really doesn't matter. It's just the important part is that you've got a smaller backpack so you can carry, any snacks, your water, I don't know, a camera if people still carry those, whatever. Make sure you have a backpack to put those things in. What vaccinations do I need? Now, I think Meg has told you guys to all check this out with your family doctors or whatever anyway, but we are not medical professionals. I certainly can't give you advice on that. So yeah, you do need to get some professional advice on that. But with Fiji, a lot of you will already have the required vaccinations if you've done a little bit of traveling before. It's nothing unusual, but yeah, check with your doctor. Should I bring gifts or donations for the schools and or the family? Well, first of all, there is no obligation to do this. You do not have to do this. A lot of people still like to, though. You can bring, cheap Australian-themed souvenirs, such as those koala keychains or fridge magnets or whatever. Most families in Fiji will have at least one relative in Australia, so they'll love that. And feedback would suggest that chocolate is also never a bad idea, so keep that in mind too. Will I have a good time? Yes. Yes, you will have a good time. But please remember to come into the project with an open mind. There will be distinct differences between Australia and Fiji, especially away from the tourist areas, which you guys will be. You're in a very kind of traditional village out in Nuku'alofa there. So please embrace the culture differences. Karishma has mentioned that it's actually perfectly okay to ask your host family and the school about the cultural things and differences that they do, but in no way can you tell them that maybe you disagree with it or it's wrong or anything like that. It's just how it is, so please embrace the culture and yeah, have a good time. So that will wrap it up, I think. Hopefully we've covered pretty much everything. As I mentioned, any questions at all, please get in touch with us here in the office. No question. There's no such thing as a silly question. We want to make sure you guys are super comfortable, super ready, and make sure you can have a real positive impact and an amazing time in Fiji. So I'll leave it there. But yes, please get in touch with any questions. But apart from that, have an amazing time, guys, and we'll get in touch when you're back. Thanks, guys.